So let's make this dishcloth scrubby. This is a poinsettia dishcloth scrubby that has a 5-chain nub stitch, has layered poinsettia leaves, has a bit of scrubby on the back, and a hanging loop. Now this is written in US terms. All beginning chains do not count as a stitch, and after the first round of petals is made, you'll be working behind the petal. All right, so let's get to this. You'll need bits of cotton. I'm going to use pink and I'm going to use white. And you will also need some scissors, a yarn needle to weave in your ends, and an H crochet hook. Okay, so let's chain 3 and join in a ring. But first we need to make a slip knot. One, 2, 3, and come down to this outside loop, wrap the yarn tail, grab hold of that, and slip stitch. Now chain 1, and your chain 1 does not count as a stitch. This is not the hole. You go beyond the hole to the beyond, and go beyond that strand of yarn that's right there. And right here is the hole. Okay, so first single crochet, second single crochet, third single crochet, keeping this wrapped, fourth single crochet, fifth single crochet, sixth single crochet, and and seventh single crochet. And we're going to bypass that chain 1 and join with a slip stitch in the top of that first single crochet. And you've just completed round 1. The hole may seem a little bit big, but I will pull on this yarn tail. That is why I crocheted over top of it. I will pull on that later on and close up that hole. Now, chain 1 and single crochet in the joining stitch. And the joining stitch is right here. And make a chain 5 nub stitch in the joining stitch. So a chain 5 nub stitch is insert hook, pull up a loop. Now ignore this loop. Just pretend it isn't there for a while and make a chain 5. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through. Now push this off to the side and make a single crochet in the next stitch and a chain 5 nub stitch. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, ignore this, just keep it on the hook and make a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains. Go ahead and pull it through, shove it off to the side, go to the next stitch and make a single crochet in this next stitch. And there we have 2 5 nubby stitches. These will be so cute because they look like a cyathea in a poinsettia. That's what is the center of the poinsettia is called, is the cyathea. Now let's make another chain 5 nub stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pull through. So we have 3 nub stitches and 3 single crochets. I'll put a single crochet in this next stitch. And you guessed it, a chain 5 nub stitch here, a single crochet and chain 5 nub stitch here, all the way around. Now this hole may be a little bit big, but I will pull it and close it up In just a moment, I'll go off camera and finish this and come back. All right, I have just finished making my last nub stitch. I have 7 nubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nubs and 7 single crochets. This was our beginning single crochet. This is our last nub. We will join with a slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. Now chain 1, it does not count as a stitch. So we chain 1 and single crochet in the joining stitch, then 2 single crochets in the nub stitch. 1, 2, then 1, that's the single crochet, and here's the nub stitch, so we put 2, 1, 2, pull this back, single crochet in the single crochet, and 2 single crochets in the nub stitch, single crochet. Let me speed up the camera. I am at the last nub stitch, so I need to place the last 2 single crochets, and I need to join with a slip stitch in the top of this single crochet, but I need to end off with a white, leave a generous tail. And I'm going to pull up the pink. I'm making this one because sometimes there are pink poinsettias, and I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I like to make pink things whenever I can. I've been cancer-free for 4 years. Praise the Lord. So we've just joined the pink. This was with a slip stitch. Now we don't need to make a beginning chain. We just immediately need to start chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and slip stitch, not single crochet, but slip stitch in the next single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and slip stitch. One, 2, 3, skip 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch. Okay, I've already shown you that from a few angles. Let me continue that all the way around. It is chain 3, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, slip stitch. All right, let me speed the camera up. All right, I'm at the last 2 stitches, and I'm going to slip stitch right at the base of this first slip stitch. I should have 7 chain 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are no chains to build anything. Now we are making our first leaf. But please understand that these 2 stitches that you skipped will play an important role when we make the leaves and when we make the second row of petals. Now to make the first petal, let me get hold of the yarn right. You make a single crochet, a half double crochet, which is yarn over, pull through all 3, a double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, then chain 2, and slip stitch back into the first chain. I usually have that as a 2-step process. Double crochet, half double crochet, and single crochet. There's our first petal. Looks kind of like a poinsettia petal. And we just immediately go to the next chain loop and begin the next petal. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch back in the chain 1. Okay, double crochet, half double crochet, and a single crochet. Let's take a look at our work. Okay, we have a center cyathea. We have 2 poinsettia leaves. All right, so I'll go off camera and finish this all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of the round and we'll finish this last petal together. I'm at the last petal. I have 1 more chain 3 space. Let's make that last petal. So it's a single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, chain 2, and slip stitch back into that first chain. Double crochet, half double crochet, and a single crochet, and join with a slip stitch in the single crochet. All right, now we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, it does not count as a stitch. We're going to drop behind this petal, bend the petal over, and you can see the 2 stitches that we skipped. 1, 2, and we're going to slip stitch in this first stitch that we skipped. All right, now we are going to bend back this second petal and expose those 2 skipped stitches. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch in the first of the 2 skipped stitches. Do the same, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, fold back this next petal, and slip stitch in the first skipped stitch. And you can see we have these chain 3 arches. This is the chain 2. This will be ignored. This is what we used to drop behind and get to the back of the petals. So 1, 2, we will continue this all the way around using that first skipped stitch to slip stitch into. I'll go off camera. When I get to this last chain 3 right here, I'll come back. All right, so I have 1 more chain 3 arch to make, or chain 3 space. Let me make this last one. I've pulled back my petals. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here's the chain 2 where we dropped down. And we need to slip stitch right at the base of that chain 2 where we dropped and slip stitched into that first stitch. All right. Did you see that? Let me do that again. Okay. It's worth noting that this chain 2, we dropped down and we slip stitched in that first stitch. Now we need to join in that first stitch. That's the joining stitch. All right, there we have it. Now let's start making the back petal. We have our yarn on our hook, and this petal will have a treble crochet in it. It will be slightly bigger. So the first stitch is single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and a treble. A treble is yarn over twice, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, chain two just as before, drop back and slip stitch in that first chain. Now treble, yarn over twice, let's give these a shove, double crochet, half double crochet, and a single crochet. All right, let's pull this back up. Look, that second petal is directly in the V behind, and it's staggered and layered. Let's go to the next petal. We don't have to do anything special. We just immediately make a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, a treble, a chain two, slip stitch back in that first chain, treble, double crochet, half double crochet, and a single crochet. All right, we have 2 petals. We have 5 more to make. Let me get to this last petal here, and I will come back on camera and we'll finish, and I'll show you how to. I'm at the last petal. I have this one last petal to finish. So it's a single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, treble, chain 2, and slip stitch back in that first chain. Okay, treble, half double crochet, not half double crochet, but a double crochet, and a, whoops, get over there, and a half double crochet, and a single crochet. Join with a slip stitch to the beginning, single crochet. Get those yarn tails out of the way. Now, when we join with a slip stitch here, we're going to end off, ouch, we're going to end off with a pink. Now, we need to chain 2 and drop behind these petals. 1, 2. I've already cut my yarn because I cut it too early. I don't need to pull up the green until I join with a slip stitch. I'm going to pull this petal back, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the back loop. This back loop just shows itself very nicely. We crocheted in this first stitch, and the back loop of that second stitch that was skipped, I'm going to join with a slip stitch right there. Right there, I'm going to drop the pink, and I'm pulling up the green. There we go. All right, now I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pull back the second set of petals, and you can see this back loop. That's the back loop. Slip stitch right there in that back loop only. right, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull these petals back, and right there it is. Up, and you see it right here is that loop. Right here is that loop. We're going to go in front of it. And slip stitch. All right, let me finish this. Now we have spaces for our leaves. Let me finish this all the way around. We'll have 7 spaces when I'm done, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I have all of my loops made except for the last one, but I told you I was going to show you how I pull the center. I pulled the beginning yarn tail to close up the center. Just give it a really good hard pull, and that closes up that hole and makes it look very nice. Okay, so I have one more chain 4 loop to make. I've already used the last skipped stitch, so I need to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch. This is the chain 2, and this is where we pulled up the green. So I'm just going to slip stitch right in this area. And the reason we're slip stitching in the back loop only is so that the green does not show through to the front right here. We didn't, if we were to use both loops to join the green, it would show in the front, and I didn't want that to show. All right, now we're going to immediately make a single crochet. Let me get the yarn tail out of the way. Half double crochet, a double crochet, a treble, and a double treble. So that's yarn over 3 times, chain 2, slip stitch in that first chain, one, 2, 3, 4, treble, yarn over twice, pull up a loop, double crochet, half double crochet, and a single crochet. All right. And there's our leaf. It is directly behind this leaf, just like a poinsettia would. Our leaves are staggered. Let's make one more leaf, and then I'll go off camera and finish. All right, so in the next chain 4 loop, it's single crochet, double crochet, excuse me, half double crochet, double crochet, treble, double treble, which is yarn over 3 times, let's give those a shove, chain 2, slip stitch, double treble, yarn over 3 times, treble, double crochet, half double crochet, and a single crochet. All right. It's looking mighty nice. All right, let me get around to the last leaf, and then I'll come back on camera, and we'll make that chain 15 hanging loop. I'm on the last petal. I have made the first half of the petal. I made the single crochet, half double crochet. Whoops. I made the single crochet right there, the half double crochet, the double crochet, the treble, the double treble, and the chain 2 with a slip stitch. Now let's finish that double treble. And a treble. Double crochet. Half double crochet. Single crochet. Now chain 15. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hang on to that. Make sure we don't get a weird twist, and then come down and slip stitch in this single crochet stitch, which is the first stitch of the first leaf, and off. Pull through, and then let's look at our dishcloth. We still have to make the scrubby part. Let's shove that to the back. Here we have our hanging loop. And it just makes such a pretty pink poinsettia. And I also have a towel topper. This is made to look like the oven handle, that dowel rod. And as you can see, it has an elastic tie on the back. I have a video tutorial for that. I'll put the link in the comments and in the description down below. And then now we have to make the scrubby. We have a scrubby on the back. So this is my favorite. This is Heart Scrubby Sparkle. There is also a red heart, not a red heart, but Hobby Lobby has a Scrubby Sparkle. So either one. 1, 2, 3, join in a ring. We're going to chain 1, and it does not count as a stitch. Chain 1 and 10 half double crochets in the ring. Now, just as before, this is not the hole. You drop down below that hole and dig down in there. So 10 half double crochets. There's 1, 2. We're keeping that yarn tail wrapped around. Out of the way. 3. 4. 5. My camera's having trouble focusing on this scrubby yarn. 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want 10 half double crochets in the ring. This is our last one. 10. Okay, so here's the top of the first half double crochet. So we'll join it with a slip stitch. That's our joining stitch. Now it's chain 1 and 2 half double crochets in the joining stitch and in each stitch around. Let me go off camera and finish that for you. So each stitch, you can see where the stitches are. Here is a stitch. Here is a stitch. Here is a stitch. I recommend working with this in a bright light. Let me go off camera and finish it, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. I just finished the last 2 stitches in the last stitch. So I'm going to join to the top of the first half double crochet. So the first round had 10 stitches. Let me pull on that yarn tail and close that hole up. That closes up really nice. Okay. So 10. This round 2 had 20. Round 3 will have 30 stitches. So round 3 will be chain 1, beginning chains do not count as a stitch, and put 1 half double crochet in the joining stitch and 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. One half double crochet in the next stitch. Whoops, that's a single crochet. I need the height of a half double crochet and 2 half double crochets in this next stitch. And we use that pattern all the way around. So 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Okay, I'm at the end of the round. I just put my 2 stitches in my last stitch, and I need to join with a slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet. This is considered the joining stitch. All right, so we have 10 half double crochets, 20 half double crochets, 30 half double crochets. The pattern for this was 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The pattern for the next round will be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so let's do that. Let me show you how that's done. Chain 1, half double crochet in the joining stitch, one half double crochet in this next stitch, and 2 half double crochets in this next stitch. I guess you could make 2 of these and stitch them together, and you'd have yourself a nice little scrubby. 1, 2, 1, 2 in the same stitch. All right, so the pattern again is, so there'll be 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 2 stitches, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 2 stitches, all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Okay, I'm at the end. I've made quite a nice sized little scrubby that will fit on the back. So I need to join with a slip stitch. End off leaving a very long tail. I probably have left a tail that is way too long, but that's okay. Go ahead and pull that through. And after you've woven in these ends, I'm just going to place them down here. Then you just place this on the back of your scrubby, on the back of your dishcloth, and then thread this into your yarn needle and just sew it in place, and you have a beautiful pink poinsettia scrubby. Or in traditional colors, you have a red poinsettia scrubby. Isn't this lovely? I hope you enjoyed your time on my side of the mountain. I hope you'll like and subscribe. I hope you'll come again soon.